This burnt-up car became a wake-up call for the United States.
This is for the record. Nita and 4 of my grandchildren are burnt and shot up.
3 women and 6 children, American citizens, killed in neighboring Mexico. President Trump said in response that cartels would be considered terrorist organizations. But it was American-made bullets found at the scene and likely American-made guns smuggled across the border that were used to kill not just this family, but tens of thousands more in Mexico. Tijuana's suffered more than most. This year there's been an average of 6 murders a day. Residents say the city's swimming with US firearms.
Anyone can carry a gun now, and I've known cases where they exchange a couple of words with someone in a taco stand and a petrol station, and they kill them.
Yvonne's husband himself was shot dead, leaving her to bring up 4-year-old Michelle and 10-year-old Danny alone.
It's affected us in every way, economically as well. I'm not with my daughters. We're distanced because I have to work every day and leave them here alone. He was the breadwinner.
In Mexico, it's extremely hard to buy a gun legally, but criminals have found an easier way. About 70% of the firearms seized here and traced have come from the US. The state attorney responsible for Tijuana told Al Jazeera that Mexican cartels, which have long relied on straw buyers, are now using different tactics to buy more weapons stateside.
In different parts of the United States, they legally buy parts of guns. Then they cross them into Mexico and put the gun together here. Anyone can go to a gun store in the US and buy a gun part. There's no control of that, no registry. Then we find those arms at a crime scene in Mexico, and we have no way to trace them. Why? Because they have no serial number.
Once the guns or parts of guns are bought, it's easy to get them across a porous border where there are few checks on the passing cars. What impact would it have on the homicide rate here in Tijuana if suddenly it became a lot more difficult to get guns over the border from the US to Mexico?
I believe that it would have an important impact. The moment that the criminals don't have a way to get firearms, it will be harder to commit a murder. So of course a restriction would have an impact.
In the end though, the blame lies not with the weapons but those wielding them, says a man who would know.
I think it's one's own responsibility, because if they gave you an order, you have to obey, if you're carrying or not. If they tell me you're going to kill those people, I have to do it, and that's my own responsibility, or the ones I kill, depending on what they did wrong.
There are tens of thousands, though, who have done nothing but have had their families ripped apart. Now all Yvonne wants is a safer future.
There's so much killing, so many dead, too many cases unsolved, people disappeared. If all of this really stopped, the traffic of arms, the drugs, we'd have a bit of peace.
Stopping the flow of guns into Mexico wouldn't rectify that alone. But from politicians to experts to ordinary Mexicans, few doubt that it would help. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Tijuana.